Ultimately for me, I need an escape, I guess. I need some way just to escape from reality for a little while. Different people have, different issues, and we all have certain things that we worry about and certain trauma or whatever it might be. And sometimes your head voice can get a little bit noisy. And for me, I need something to put my time, my passion and my energy into. And that sort of helps me, because when I'm taking photos, when I'm creating YouTube, I'm not really thinking about anything else. And it brings me joy. It honestly does. Like when I'm out there watching the sun come up, I'm thinking, where is everyone else? Why isn't everyone else doing this? Am I the only crazy one that wants to come out? And obviously there's others that enjoy it as well. But I can't help but think that if people want to help their mental health, or help, is if you can get out into nature and just breathe it and live it and experience it. For me, it helps me to be a better person, I suppose. I can't see that changing, to be honest. Like, I've been doing this close on 12, 13 years, and I still get that same thrill. Until it stops giving me that amazing feedback and that peace of mind and that joy, I can't see myself changing. Fundamental driver is that when I'm photographing birds or when I've got a camera, I'm in my happy place and I'm not thinking about anything else. As far as addictions or hobbies go, I think this one is one of the best. Well, g'day and welcome to the channel. I can't get this grin off my face because I've just had the most amazing hour just here out in the field at this beautiful lake. Why am I here? Well, I want to do a video about why photography. Why do we love photography? What is it about photography that gets us up at 4 a.m, drive into these lakes? And I just had a conversation on the Photowalk Podcast with the host Neil, and he asked me the question, Duade, why photography? And I had to stop for a minute. It seems like a very simple question because I enjoy it, but no, there's more to it than that. Why do I love it so much? And there's a number of reasons. I think for my mental health, for one, the world just disappears when I see birds like this duck just flying past. There's no one else here. I've got bird song. I've got nature, I've got an incredible scene here that is almost so beautiful that it's hard to describe. That's why I come out here. It's just something about being in nature that just puts me at peace and makes me smile. And I'm glad I can bring you along with me today, because this morning truly was just one of those mornings. I had an idea in my head that there was fog forecast, and I thought, what if I get to this lake early before the sun comes up, and hopefully I can get a duck or something just gliding along the water with the fog and a bit of morning light. That was the vision I had, and that was the anticipation, and that's all part of it, isn't it? We just don't know what to expect. It's going to be different every time. So we come here with high expectations. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. But this morning, it just all worked. And I was just on this unbelievable high this morning. We had some opportunities to get even landscapes. I got excited about landscapes this morning with the reeds and the reflection and the fog and the sun and the colours. And then we had birds as well to throw in there. Oh, it's just amazing. That's why we do it. That's why I do it. It's for these feelings. What I want to do today is I asked my members, my beautiful members, why photography for them. And I put together a list of benefits of why photography is so good for us. And I want to go through those. I want to read some of those comments and some of those stories. So the first benefit I want to talk about is photography's ability to help us recover from illness and grief. Whether that's your own illness, whether that's somebody you're caring for, maybe you've lost a partner. This grief or this emotion is extremely difficult, and I'm sure many of you have experienced it, and it's just hard to escape it. For me, I've had a few traumas in my life, but just being out here definitely helps relieve those symptoms for me. And I just want to mention Bruce, who sent me a message. Unfortunately, Bruce lost his wife after a long illness, and he was struggling with the loss. Bruce picked up his camera and decided to start going for walks and notice the birds. He quickly discovered that bird photography calms his mind somehow. He believes it's the concentration needed to focus on the beauty of the bird or the landscape, but it just helps him to keep calm in the moment. In his words, he said, "To be honest, it just helps to tell me that the world is still kind and good. There is so much beauty to be found if you look." Couldn't agree more. Oh, there's an eagle. There's an eagle. It's a wedge-tailed eagle. Oh. Oh, amazing. All right, Duade. We're here to make a video. We can't just take photos all morning. Another member who's suffered from illness was member Ian. He battled cancer himself and went through some tough times. About a year ago he found birding. It's helped him so much to get a sense of purpose. He's improving every time and said he finds just laying in a paddock or a woodland waiting for birds is so relaxing and rewarding. He finds contentment in this pursuit which makes him very happy, and that's just wonderful. Oh, we just had a backlit fairy wren on these reeds. I hope that worked. Unbelievable. You love it when the birds come to you. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get through this video, to be honest. The member that suffers from mental health is Rob. He's suffered major depression most of his life. However, he said recently he picked up a camera and he started to feel a lot better and his symptoms have definitely reduced. The worst is behind me, and perhaps just coincidentally, I came out of it around the time I decided to spend the kids' inheritance on a series of serious photography kit. So I'm happy Rob found photography, but maybe Rob, just check your children's mental health after spending their inheritance. I honestly have no doubt that if you do suffer from depression, anxiety, PTSD, or any of those sort of mental health conditions, I honestly truly believe that wildlife photography or any sort of photography or creative pursuit is definitely a great benefit to us. So if you're not doing it, I highly suggest you do. Member Jonathan Green said that he loves the creativity and it does wonders for his own mental health, and he's most happy when he's out with his camera, and I totally agree. There's a fairy wren. There's a fairy wren right here. He's on it. A female. So I already mentioned flow state earlier, but that's currently how I'm feeling at the moment, photographing that fairy wren. Member Jack explains it well. He said, I really like how you can get totally lost in it. The rest of the world just drops away. I guess it's like any endeavour where you're concentrating in the zone, but how great to do it out there in nature. And I totally agree with member Michael, who describes it as being totally absorbed, relaxed and without pressure. And that's definitely how I feel at the moment. You know, and in our fast-paced world and with so much going on, being out here in a location like this, just photographing is it's good for the soul, that's for sure. I keep getting sidetracked by the birds. Probably wasn't a good idea for me to come to a location like this to try and do a video like this, because I just keep getting sidetracked. Alrighty. So I mentioned this unique perspective we get when we look through the viewfinder, and member Air Noodles highlights this in her comment by saying, you see things with a camera you simply can't ever see with binoculars due to the magic of image processing. And I totally agree. You know, when we take photos, we have the ability to then zoom in afterwards on the computer, and we see the beauty in the feathers and the colours, and we see it up close. Like the feathers in this takahe, I didn't realise there were so many beautiful colours, the different turquoise and blues, and photography allows us that intimate viewpoint and just highlights that beauty we may not see otherwise. And member Darlin says, photography, especially with a long lens, allows me to highlight the most beautiful parts of this amazing and beautiful world. I can pull a person, a bird, a tree out of the mess and highlight just the most beautiful parts of life. I totally agree, and creating compositions is all part of the fun, like that backlit shot I just got before, or the ducks on the water. The ability to create something unique from what you can see is just awesome. I absolutely love it. I really loved member Jack's comment. He said, the animals themselves are inspirational and they put my petty worries to shame. You don't see birds sitting on the couch during migration because they have a sore wing, or complaining because other birds have got better equipment. They just get on with their astounding journeys and behaviour. And maybe Jack's onto something. Maybe we like watching animals and birds and different things because they seem to have a purpose. They know what they're doing and they just go about and do it. And I think some of us could probably benefit from that attitude, you know. It's just getting a purpose and doing it, and stop worrying about all the negativity out there. I think the next major benefit for wildlife photography is it just gets us out into nature and gives us some exercise. You know, often walking around the bush with your camera, you'll be surprised how many sort of kilometres you travel. And it's also the social aspect. It's meeting other people and just enjoying the hobby together. So I had the same comment a few times, and I'm a little bit jealous, but members Gary, Tony and Graham all mentioned that they actually share this passion with their wives or their partners, and they go for long walks in nature and travel around in their caravans, and they do it together and they absolutely love it. They've got their camera nearby. If they see something, they capture it. They've got that memory. Sounds like heaven to me, honestly, and maybe later in life I'll do the same thing, traveling around in a caravan with my wife. That's the hope. Something else which makes me smile is members who involve their children or their parents with them, and they go out together. Member Naranthip states he really enjoys taking his daughter out into nature, their adventures in the bush, looking for and photographing different things. Being outdoors brings peace as well as keeping me active. Often I would go out with my daughter and really enjoy my time with her, hiking, watching and photographing wildlife together. Last but not least, I got to meet many great people and have made many new great friends. And I really love that comment. I'm sure your daughter will treasure those memories, and you will as well. Now what's funny is I've been talking for a while now, and I haven't even mentioned the main reason people take up photography in the first place, and that's actually taking photos. I've been talking about the process, which probably people aren't really aware of. They think, well, I take a photo to then have that photo and look at it later, but it's the process of going out with the camera which is often one of the most fun parts. Now, one comment that I really loved, and it was from member Sam, he said, "My body is almost 70 years old, but my brain still thinks like I'm 27. Somehow photography seems to keep the two in harmony. Being very much an introvert, I'm instinctively drawn to landscape, wildlife, nature and still life imagery. Photography has allowed me to enjoy the world as I see it, even as I age. I may no longer be able to climb a mountain, but I'll always be able to photograph it." What beautiful words. I absolutely relate to that. You know, as you get older, things get a little bit more difficult, but you can definitely photograph the beauty and have a memory of that. So just what a wonderful comment. Member Ray put it slightly differently, and I quite like this comment. He said, "It's quite simple really. I'm greedy. I want to capture as much of this unbelievable, beautiful world around me and relive the captured moments again and again. And what better exemplifies that beauty than the varied and wondrous world of our avian friends?" And I couldn't agree more, Ray. For some reason, I've got this ability. I've taken thousands and thousands of photos over many years, but when I look at a photo, I can almost remember every single one, where I was, how I was feeling, who I was with. And isn't that such an incredible ability to be able to do that? And photos definitely enable to sort of keep our memory, if you know what I mean. Like that photo will transport you back in time. And if you didn't have that photo, maybe you would forget that memory. And member Thomas has definitely agreed with this. He said, "I find the possibility of freezing that moment in time and space. It tells a small story of what I've encountered on my path incredible. I always look at old photos, even the ones that lack a terrible quality, and I remember that day. I find photography's ability to forever preserve and share this piece of history incredible." And he's also a biologist and believes it's extremely important that we record our images. And one member that has done this, and she may even hold the record, is member Pia. She tells me that she has over 2,650 different bird species uploaded to iGoTerra, I think it is, other ones being eBird or Macaulay Library. It's good for citizen science for us to upload our images, share our images, and it helps ecologists, it helps people promote our images, and that's just a wonderful thing. Another reason to enjoy photography is the challenge and the pursuit. Like, it's one of the hardest forms of photography. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but it's a real challenge. Birds are moving, wildlife's moving, and it's just can be very difficult. And I think that's what makes it interesting. Remember, David said, stalking the subject, sitting for hours in the field, it's just all part of the fun. And Powell states he loves wildlife photography because it is as close as you can be to the primal experience of hunting without actually harming any creature. And remember, Rooster, who actually grew up hunting and fishing, finds taking photos in the field recharges his mental batteries, and the hunt for an image is as enjoyable as hunting. And I have to admit, I too love the challenge of wildlife photography. It's sometimes sitting in the one spot for hours, and when the photo comes off, there's just no other joy like it. Another thing I mentioned this morning is the unpredictability and the surprises you get every time you go out with the camera. No 2 days are the same. Every day is different due to the weather and the birds, etc. Some of the shots I got this morning, I may never take them again. I may never experience that, and that's why it's important to get out as often as you can. Remember, Jack said he loves the unpredictability and surprises. So often you're about to pack it in for the day, some unexpected bird or gorgeous light appears out of nowhere. What a great feeling. And I can definitely relate to that. I often say to myself, oh, just 5 more minutes. And I've mentioned this before. If you're about to give up, just say 5 more minutes, and you never know, you might get that one shot that you never expected to get. And I've definitely experienced that myself. I remember when I got that spider with the kingfish that I've shared many times, I definitely wasn't expecting that. And when I got that, it was just, whoa, a massive smile on my face. So another member who loves the challenge is member Taiwan is Moving, who says, due to the unpredictable nature of birds, each outing is a gamble. That gamble will always keep you wondering, man, today was good, but if I come back tomorrow, I might get even better shots. It sounds to me like his addiction is as bad as mine. Now Mike, who's been photographing for years, but says he still has that same excitement today, many years later, because of the sense you always have an opportunity to create something unique and creative when you take your camera with you. And I couldn't agree more. Another angle is the artistic element. A lot of people come to photography for the creativeness and the art. And Rebecca loves finding beauty in unexpected places. She said, photography makes you look for the little things and the creatures that one overlooks too easily. She said, I live slap bang in the middle of Germany, but even here, in a place where there aren't that many colourful birds or fancy insects, there's so much beauty. You just learn to look at things differently and more deliberately. And what a wonderful perspective that we all need to embrace. So I've got so many beautiful comments that I haven't been able to read, and I do apologise to all those members that didn't feature in today's video. I've read all your comments and I'm very, very grateful for those. I just want to end on one which sort of encapsulates everything. It's from Tank Taupe. Said, to me, nothing beats being in nature and experiencing the wonders of this planet, be it just a little ant or a beautiful sunrise. And meeting fellow birders and photographers is always lovely too. Sharing knowledge, discussing ideas, or just chatting with people is great. And photography allows me to preserve all of that in a timeless format, whilst also cherishing and celebrating the life on this planet. It's always nice to look at a picture and remember the story that led me to taking it. You know, that's just perfect, isn't it? That sort of encaptures everything. It's a hobby, it's an activity, we can share it with others, we can do it on our own. We take these memories that last forever. It makes us feel amazing. It reduces the stress and anxiety. It's perhaps nature's medicine for us. And I'm so, so grateful for me personally that it gives me so much joy and I can share that with you. I'm just a bit overwhelmed, to be honest, that this channel gives me the ability to do this. So I really appreciate all the support. I'd love to know in the comments, why photography for you? What do you love about it? What gets you going? So I'd love to read it in the comments, and I'm sure everyone else will. Why photography for you? If you enjoyed this video, obviously give it that thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. To my members, just thank you so much. You're enabling me to continue growing this channel, and it just gives me that flexibility to come out and do these sorts of things. So if you want to become a member yourself, there's a little join button under the video, and I'd be very, very grateful. I'm about to release the calendar for next year, and hopefully that'll come out soon. But until the next video, take care, happy birding. We'll see you in the next one. I honestly can't believe it. There are Apostlebirds on the road here. This one. I have not photographed this species in about 12 years. I was not expecting them to be here. They're the most wonderful family of birds. They go around in these little families and they chatter to each other, and they're just one of my favourite species, but they're usually in the drier areas and they don't usually come down this far. This is about as far south as they would come. And they're right here. And I got some photos. What a way to end the morning. Unbelievable. Oh dear. Talk about well-being. I hope you enjoyed those photos as much as I did taking them. That's why it always pays to have the camera next to you, just in case you see something when you're driving home or driving about. All right, I'm going home now. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. See ya.